Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Namor, a character that, at least for me, doesn't get enough love. You know, saying that reminded me the origin of the name of the MCU Namor from Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. Man, that was a stupid way to explain how the Submariner got his name in the first place. When they got into that explanation, I thought to myself, oh my god, this is so stupid. But today we're going to jump into the character sheet of the comic book version of this character, who was featured in the first Marvel comic book ever way back in 1939. Motion Picture Funnies Weekly #1. And this came out way before Marvel was even Marvel, or Timely, or Atlas. While Namor's first appearance in modern comic books, at least in the Silver Age, was in Fantastic Four issue #4. So without further ado, let's get into his powers and abilities. Obviously, since Namor is an aquatic character, all of his stats are split between land and sea. Or better said, underwater, except for intelligence, obviously, which is normal. Now, his strength on land is superhuman class 50, while in the water, it's class 100. So obviously he is a very heavy hitter. His water speed is superhuman, while on land his speed is peak human. His stamina is superhuman, but in water it's godlike. He basically never tires. His durability on land is superhuman, while in the water it's metahuman. You know, thinking about durability, I feel like the person that did the character sheet flipped around the stats. I feel like his durability in water should be superhuman. Now, his agility on land is peak human, while in the water it's superhuman. And we have the same situation with his reflexes. Now, for his fighting skills, even though he's untrained in any type of specific combat style, Namor intuitively is a really good fighter. In other skills and abilities, the character sheet establishes that Namor is fluent in English, Atlantean, and Lemurian, and that he's a very skilled businessman. That was like a big thing in the early 90s with Namor. He was the head of the Oracle Corporation, company that later on would be inherited by Jim Hammond / the Human Torch. Now, for other superhuman powers, obviously Namor can stay underwater all the time that he wants. He sort of has an issue if he stays on land too long. That sort of affects the chemistry in his brain, and this sort of drives him mad. So that's when you get those crazy states when he sort of becomes a villain. Also, the character sheet establishes that his eyesight is really good underwater. Another thing that the character sheet is sort of vague about is that Namor can copy the powers of any type of marine life. I guess not powers, but abilities. For example, if necessary, he can use echolocation, just like dolphins can. Now, I had no idea about this, but in superhuman mental powers, he can telepathically communicate with sea life. So, just like Aquaman, he can talk to fish. Also, he has like this empathic connection with Namorita. Now, in special limitations, if he's on land too long, not only that the oxygen imbalance sort of messes with his mind, the character sheet actually establishes that he's manic depressive, and that's why he has these mood swings. Another thing that happens to him when he's on land for a long time is that he starts to lose his superpowers and he gets weaker and weaker. You know, I did not mention prior to this in superhuman physical powers. I totally forgot to mention his ankle wings that allow him to fly. And if he lacks these ankle wings or the cut off during battle, he cannot take off. He can't fly. Now, for the source of Namor's superhuman powers, it's established that he's a mutant. For a while, Marvel would call Namor Marvel's first mutant. That was like the tagline to his ongoing series in the early 90s. Obviously, Marvel will retcon this, and there's going to be a ton of other mutants that are older than Namor. be it in Salon or Apocalypse. But I think the Black Queen is the oldest of all. Now, in the case of Namor, he's a hybrid. His father was a Homo sapien and his mother was a Homo mermanus. I probably butchered that pronunciation. She was an Atlantean, but the thing is, that's why Namor's skin is different in tone compared to the rest of the Atlanteans. Obviously, it's not blue. Also, that's the same reason why he can be on the surface, be on land. Outside of that, there's not much more information about Submariner here on the sheet. I've always liked Namor as a character because always when he pops up, he's such an asshole all the time. He works really well as a villain, but when he's on the hero side, like, he always causes a lot of friction amongst his allies. And he has zero issues on trying to hit on the wives of his friends or teammates. He has a real soft spot for blondes, be it Sue Storm or Emma Frost. And my favorite iteration of Namor, outside of the main 616 version, is the one from Earth X, where half of his body became the Human Torch and he was always in flames. It was like a curse and it was really painful because he had killed Johnny Storm in that reality. But we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.